Hello, my dear boys and girls. It's time for English. I know that you like English. The problem is that some of you are just a bit lazy and you don't do everything in time, so you have some problems, but I hope that this will change in future. Especially because the lessons we are reading here in our book are very interesting and they take you to different places and you meet different people so that you can make your vocabulary much better and you can use English in different situations. This lesson we are going to deal with today is very interesting, but before we start doing this lesson, let's check your homework from the previous lesson. Open your activity books and check your homework. Here are the answers. Stop the video and check your homework. When you finish, come back so that we can start the lesson. The new lesson is mountain rescue. It is the first part of the lesson. In this lesson, you will meet one girl and one boy, a brother and a sister, and some other people too. What happens to them? You will find out after you listen to the lesson and follow it in your books. Of course, it's very the picture and the letters are very small here, so it is difficult to follow it from here. Open your books and listen to the lesson.
Unit 1C, Exercise 1, Mountain Rescue, Part 1. Listen and read. Who wrote the blog and where is he? Day 2, the 11th of April.
Our first night in the hut was awful. The beds are hard and narrow, and I couldn't turn over in my sleeping bag, and Ben was snoring. But the main problem was the storm. We could hear it even with earplugs. Storms here seem to come from nowhere, without much warning. Anyway, in the morning the weather was much better and we were able to set off at 8. We wanted plenty of time to cross the glacier before nightfall. Glaciers can be incredibly dangerous. They're actually huge rivers of ice. They have big cracks which you can't see very well because of the snow, so you really need to look where you're going. It started out okay, but then the weather changed again. We weren't halfway across by then, so there was only one thing to do, i.e. turn back. Luckily, we were able to get to the hut before the storm broke. Let's hope for better luck tomorrow. Time for supper. Soup and chocolate, lol. Bye for now. I'll be back online ASAP.
What are you reading, Hattie? Is it interesting? Yes, it is. Hattie looked up and smiled at Josh. It's my brother's blog. You know, Steve. He's in Switzerland. Oh, yeah, you told me, said Josh. He's a climber, isn't he? Yes, he is. Well, it's only a hobby, but he's always been good at it. I remember when he was little, when he couldn't even read or write, he could climb anything. I went climbing with him once, but I chickened out. Luckily, Steve was able to help me down. Cool. Can I see his blog? Asked Josh, and he pulled up a chair next to his friend. Wow, that sounds seriously risky, he said after a few minutes. What do your parents think of it? Don't they worry about him all the time? Yes, they do, especially my mum, said Hattie. I know she didn't want him to go on this expedition, but she wasn't able to stop him. He's 23, and of course they're proud of him. Yeah, I bet they are. So how often does he write his blog? He does it every day without fail. Why? I want to know how they got on yesterday. What do you mean, yesterday? Oh, no. Hattie's face went suddenly white. What's the matter, Hat? He wrote this on the 11th. I thought that was yesterday, but it wasn't. It was the day before yesterday. Well, perhaps there wasn't a signal. No, it isn't that. That's never a problem in that hut. He's been there before. There's something wrong, I'm sure of it.
Okay, you heard the lesson. I hope you understand the lesson. Because I'm not going to give you the new words, you will have to find them by yourself. Neću vam davati nove reči iz lekcije, iz prostog razloga što smatram da ako pročitate lekciju nekoliko puta i reči koje ne znate, postaće vam poznate, a ukoliko i dalje ne razumete neke reči, onda ih potražite u rečniku. Od vas očekujem da umete da kažete nešto o tome šta se desilo u ovoj lekciji kroz nekoliko rečenica u skladu sa vašim sposobnostima. A da vidimo sada nekoliko pitanja vezana za ovu lekciju. Pogledajte ova pitanja i razmislite šta biste odgovorili šta bi bio vaš odgovor na ova pitanja. Hajde da pogledamo. Prvo pitanje bilo je Why did Stevie and Ben have a bad night? Because it was noisy, there was a storm. What did they want to walk across? A glacier. Nadam se da znate značenje ove reči, neću vam reći. Why did they turn back? Because the weather changed, or because there was another storm. Where was Steve when he wrote the blog? In the hut. What were they planning to do the next day? They wanted to cross the glacier. Why was Hattie shocked? Steve usually wrote his blog every day, but he wrote his last blog 2 days ago. And that is a very big problem. What happened after that, you will find out in the next part of the lesson. But now, let's deal a little with grammar. This is really not difficult at all. We are going to talk about could and was or were able to. Both of them show the ability in the past, but there is a slight, very slight difference. Let's see what is the difference. I could, što je prošlo vreme od glagola can u ovom slučaju, i was ili were able to pokazuju našu sposobnost da nešto uradimo u prošlosti. U stvari, našu sposobnost da smo nešto mogli da uradimo u prošlosti. Mogu da kažem I could swim when I was 5. Također, ako kažem I was able to swim when I was 5, neću pogrešiti. I jedno i drugo je tačno. Znači, možemo za sposobnost koristiti podjednako i could i was ili were able to. Ali, could nikako ne možemo koristiti u sljedećoj situaciji. The house was on fire, but he was able to rescue the dog. Zašto ne mogu ovdje da koristim could? Pa jedina razlika između was able to i could za aktivnost u prošlosti je u tome što was able to koristimo onda kad je to bila neka specifična situacija. Uglavnom neka teža situacija kada smo mi uspjeli ipak da nešto uradimo. U svim drugim situacijama potpuno je svejedno da li ćete upotrebiti could ili was able to. Evo pogledajte ovo vežbanje ovdje ispod objašnjenja. U većini rečenica bit ćete u mogućnosti da upotrebite i could i was ili were able to, a u nekim od ovih rečenica moći ćete da upotrebite samo was ili were able to. Dopunite ove rečenice pa ću vam onda pokazati rješenje da proverite. Evo rješenja. U ovoj rečenici smo mogli i jedno i drugo. I didn't enjoy the trip to Paris because I couldn't or I wasn't able to understand the language. Govorim o svojoj sposobnosti. Ali pogledajte treću. Our laptop stopped working, but our neighbor was able to fix it. Ne može baš svako da popravi laptop. To nije tako lako. Samo onaj ko to ume može da uradi. Zato ovdje ne koristimo could, nego was able to. I u četvrtoj i u petoj rečenici govorimo o sposobnosti, pa zato možemo i jedno i drugo. Ali u šestoj rečenici možemo samo was able to. Zašto? When Jack lost his mobile, I rang his number and then he was able to find it. Opet je to neka specifična situacija. Nadam se da ste razumeli ovo. A sada nešto što i vi vrlo često koristite. Vrlo često kada pišete poruke prijateljima, vi koristite neke skraćenice. Mnoge skraćenice potiču iz latinskog jezika, kao što imamo ovdje nekoliko skraćenica koje su iz latinskog jezika. Ja sada želim da probate na osnovu vašeg iskustva da spojite ove skraćenice sa njihovim značenjem, pa ćemo onda pogledati da li ste to dobro uradili. Hajde da vidimo. PS, postscript. Obično pišemo na kraju neke poruke, na kraju nekog pisma, maila, da ne bismo pisali ponovo, a setili smo se da smo nešto zaboravili, mi onda napišemo PS i dodamo tu informaciju. Znači, some extra information. SOS. Da li ima neko ko ne zna šta znači ova skraćenica? Save our souls ili help. IE je skraćeno od latinske reči id est, što bi značilo what I mean is this. U našem jeziku to bi bilo to jest. ASAP, as soon as possible, što znači fast. Zatim EG, exempli gratia, također iz latinskog jezika, for example, u našem jeziku, na primjer. ETC, etc., također iz latinskog jezika, znači and more like that. I tako dalje. Tako bismo mi preveli. LOL je skraćeno od laugh out loud i mislim da i vi to često koristite i značenje bi ovdje bilo haha. BTW, by the way, značilo bi oh, here is some different news. Kada pričamo o nečemu, pa onda skačemo s teme na temu, usput da dodam još nešto ili kako već to možemo da prevedemo, to bi bilo značenje skraćenice BTW, by the way. Ako su neke od njih za vas bile nove, vi ih zapišite. Pa da vidimo koliko možete sami da se snađete i da ih upotrebite, da skratite ove poruke ovdje. Ups, ja vam odmah dajem rješenje. Greška. Pogledajte ove dve poruke ovde. Zapišite ih u vašim sveskama, ali umesto nekih reči za koje ste naučili ovde gore skraćenice, vi upotrebite skraćenice. Pa da vidimo kako će onda izgledati te poruke. Zapišite to u svoje svesci. Sada mogu da vam pokažem rešenje. Evo, ovo bi bila rešenja. Umesto help, vi ste napisali SOS i tako dalje, neću komentarisati. Pogledajte sami ove skraćene poruke, proverite da li ste ih i vi napisali na isti način. I sada da vidimo šta smo to imali u ovoj lekciji. Kao prvo, saznali smo nešto o devojčici Heti i njenom bratu. Vaš zadatak je da naučite da prepričate ovaj tekst ukratko. U tome vam u mnogome mogu pomoći pitanja na koje smo već odgovorili. Naučili smo razliku između could i was ili were able to za iskazivanje sposobnosti u prošlosti. I naučili smo neke skraćenice koje su danas sastavni deo i vašeg života, jer ih i vi vrlo često koristite kada pišete neke poruke. Za domaći zadatak to ćete provežbati kroz vežbanja u radnoj svesci koje se nalaze na 12. i 13. strani. Imate i could i was were able to kao i skraćenice, a i malo pisanja. To bi bilo sve za danas. Narednog časa nas očekuje obnavljanje, pa očekujte da vas pitam da pričate o lekcijama, a takođe i da radimo neka vežbanja vezana za gramatiku koju smo naučili u ovom poglavlju. Goodbye.